This is a reading for Sagittarius for March 2022. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. And I know the energies are a bit tough right now, so this reading is really for you. One of the cards that has just turned over is the Four of Wands, which talks about stability, and it's nice to get that reminder right now. There is a possibility for stability. So I will go ahead and cut the cards and start the Celtic Cross reading. So what is at the heart of the matter for Sagittarius? The Two of Swords. There's a situation that has a decision that is required. There's difficulty making this decision. This is not out of character with the current situation we're in. It's kind of difficult to make up a decision, even if we know what we think it is or it should be. What is crossing this Two of Swords? The Two of Cups. This is compassion, and this is connecting with another person on an emotional level. It is really a soul connection that you have. The Two of Swords, Two of Cups is interesting together. Let's see what's at the base for Sagittarius. Judgment. There's a rebirth going on for you. This could be why you're holding off on decisions. You yourself are in a state of flux. In the recent past, there has been the Lovers. This is a physical and spiritual relationship with another human. So this could be a relationship that you are in, and it is a card of Gemini, so this could be a Gemini around you. Sometimes it is also a state of learning to love yourself, realizing your self-worth. And what is entering your consciousness is the King of Cups. This is emotional energy. This is emotional stability. This could be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. I feel it is probably a Pisces. It could be a part of your chart, and it could also be another person. But this is emotional, compassionate, emotional. Someone makes decisions based on what is right to do. In your near future, there is the Ace of Swords. This is communication. This is brilliant clarity. This is seeing the truth. And this is a period of which communication can be very strong. So what is Sagittarius at this moment? Sagittarius is showing balanced energy. And interestingly, we haven't really had a Sagittarius card come up yet. You are showing balanced energy. This is the ability to give and to receive. Sometimes we are not willing to do both. So this is a good time of balance. What is your environment? Well, this is one of the things that is making this choice difficult. There are many choices. There is emotional confusion. And that could be to do with the situation that we find ourselves in the world today. In the hopes and fears, in this position, I think you might be hoping for things to be like they were in the past. This is a card of nostalgia. It is a good, positive, emotional card. And sometimes it's thinking about the past. I think that a lot of us are wishing that things were like they were several years ago. Some of the decisions that you need to make may be based on the way that you look at your past. And sometimes this is a card of accepting the things that got you, that make you what you are and how you got here. So the outcome for Sagittarius is balance. So we saw stability, that the card that popped out. And this is telling me this is where this is headed. So let's look at the base. In the recent past, just before this situation, the Two of Swords, you may have been walking away from an emotion that wasn't suiting you, or a situation that was not satisfactory. And there also may have been a Knight of Cups. This version of the card is talking about a message of love. Someone could have opened their heart to you in a message, and you might have walked away from that message. This does not have to be a message of love as in romantic love, but I do feel there's a direct correlation between the message and you walking away. And we also see that there is some sorrow and sadness and grief. And that may be happening this month. It may have happened earlier. So you've been working out some emotions. And so this message of love right here could have just come at a bad time. Another thing that you were doing is you were looking at something that you were working on in the material world. This is sometimes a card of perfecting something. You have been a period where you were strong, or you had someone around you who was strong, and that could have been a Leo. Here we have our Four of Wands. So I have to look back to this card because that's kind of my marker. There was a moment when you were feeling stable, and sometimes this card, the Four of Wands, talks about feeling like you're with your tribe. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the rest of these cards out here for the past and take us back to that moment, because that's the only indicator I really see in this reading so far of Sagittarius. The Five of Pentacles, this is really what happens when we get in a situation where we're about ready to experience a rebirth, and we don't feel quite like ourselves. And sometimes we do feel like we're trapped or we've been abandoned, and we're dealing with tough energies. And some of those energies may have been around this figure, King of Pentacles. This can be masculine energy. It's Capricorn. It doesn't have to be a male or female, but I think it is the energy of a wise, older, and this can be Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo, is where you may have been working with a group of people. And I think from readings in the past, we have found you in a situation that was somewhat unsatisfying, but you at some point did feel like you were with your tribe. But we see that prior to that, there was a situation where you were already pulling away. So now I'm going to put these cards aside and see what we can get about where Sagittarius is in this reading. And this is indeed a very deep spiritual voyage that you're on. You are balancing yourself. I think you're trying to keep yourself balanced. And right now, the Page of Swords is at the bottom. So the Page of Swords is the seeker of truth. So I think you're looking for the truth here. There's the Five of Wands that we saw. I'm going to go ahead and put the Page of Swords here because it's really part of this rebirth and your energy. So what else can we find our Sagittarius in this reading? What does Sagittarius need to know? What is Sagittarius looking for? Okay, we know that you are trying to make a decision, and you are going to be emotionally conflicted about that. You'll be trying to make a decision. You are apparently in a relationship. So what else is there that Sagittarius needs to know? Okay, I'm going to get these cards again and go into the future a little bit more. So after we find Sagittarius in the Two of Pentacles, which is really balancing, doing a balancing act, and it is between the material and spiritual worlds, I feel, in this reading, because this is for you a very spiritual time, and you are doing a lot of searching, and that could be why maybe something about your past is part of a fear. But what you are what you're doing is you are going to be looking at those things that do not serve you well. And that's the Eight of Cups that is in the most recent past. You were walking away from emotions and from situations that did not serve you. And the Seven of Pentacles is looking at your world, looking at your resources, looking at what you're doing, and making decisions about what to keep and what to leave behind, what is going to serve you more in the future. And it can be in the material realm because it is the Seven of Pentacles. So it could be something in your life that you are not finding satisfying. And that is something that happens often when you are in a situation where you're having a spiritual rebirth. You re-examine everything, and you look at the deep parts within yourself that make you what you are. And in this case, a lot of this energy here really is not Sagittarius. So the Knight of Swords, you're looking for a message of truth. And it can also be you're running off to the next thing. Now, this would seem more like the Sagittarius, but it's the kind of things that we associate with a slightly negative connotation with Sagittarius. But really what you're looking for is this compassion. You're looking to find this emotional depth of yourself, or you are looking to find a partner who is embodying that. So we have the King of Cups and Queen of Cups in this reading. How can we help our Sagittarius to get to the point where they're more comfortable in themselves? And that really is the question of this. So I'm going to pick up these cards here and I'm going to ask. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this deck for clarification. Where is our Sagittarius in this reading? What is this Six of Pentacles energy that is currently the Sagittarius and in March? Okay. You're going deep on a deep spiritual journey, really. If you're not feeling quite like yourself, that could be why. So why is you're looking for emotional bliss, or you are in a state of emotional bliss, one or the other. It could be that it has to do with the Lovers. I have seen a couple of signs sort of lose themselves in recent times with this. So I am wondering if that isn't something to do with it. So let's see, why is it? Okay. King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is really interesting because that really talks a bit about who this might be. Someone around you, or an aspect of yourself, is the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is intellectual, intelligent, dedicated, insightful, driven, and so there's something going on here. You have a project going on, and it's Project Sagittarius, but is it Project Sagittarius +1? And you're getting a little lost in that? I don't know. I don't think that this is a negative reading. It's just I don't see where you are. Perhaps you do, and you're shouting at the screen right now. So, okay. So let's say what is the Moon? Clarify the Moon, please. The Moon is the Ten of Cups. You are in a blissful state. You're in a rebirth state, in emotional happiness. This is happiness that you have, and it has to do with the Lovers, which is cool, which is very cool. This is an emotional deep dive. This is a rebirth for you in a deeply emotional way. You are going deep into your past. So what is the King of Cups here? What is the King of Cups? There we go. There's the King of Cups is your energy right now. You are embodying emotional stability, and there is that stability, the one that came out in the front. This King of Cups is currently you, and this is good. This is interesting. So you've taken an emotional deep dive to the point that you're embodying the King of Cups at the moment. You are balanced, and this Seven of Cups, this emotional confusion, I'm not even going to question that, because like with the Two of Swords, the decision making, this is a time that is difficult and tricky to make decisions. So is there anything else that we need for our Sagittarius to know? Okay, what is the Knight of Swords is the question. That's what Sagittarius needs to know. What is the Knight of Swords in the future? What is the Knight of Swords? Oh, that's interesting. The Knight of Swords, the Seven of Cups, the emotional confusion. Okay, and it is a message, it's a messenger, it's something that's going to make Sagittarius more confused. Oh, okay. And there's the Moon at the bottom. So there's unknowns. There's some unknowns here, and it's not going to change the news that you're getting. This really isn't referring to this card. And the Tower is the disruptive energy. So the message you get is going to disrupt you. However, it is not necessarily, again, a catastrophic disruption. It is really going to put you into a state of where the Queen of Cups is there. And I think with the King of Cups and Queen of Cups, this is really an emotional completion. And that's why we're getting the Ten of Cups. That is what, the Nine of Cups and Ten of Cups, it's really to do with you progressing in your search for emotional stability. And that is what you're going to have. You're going to have that. So, and there's our Two of Cups and Two of Swords. How interesting. Okay, all right. Now, I sometimes I look at the bottom of the deck because this tells me a little bit. It helps me with this reading because sometimes the things are aligning with what's on here. So this has to do with strength. And this is, this has to take a great deal of strength for you to do what you're doing right now, Sagittarius. And this is something that you have. I'm putting that here. I'm thinking that the strength is really the strength in the Two of Cups. You're doing this together with another person. And I think that is what this is saying to me, that there is a situation here where you have a partner in your search and this is being done together. That's why the Four of Wands here is showing up. It's a start of a home. And then the Ten of Cups is home and family and emotional bliss. And this is not going to be something that can be broken. So the truth, a lot of the cards that are on this layout are showing up here. And the Empress is a card of the divine feminine and manifestation and creativity. You have the twos. You're trying to balance things. The Two of Pentacles here. We saw the Two of Wands for decision, for a different path. The Two of Cups. So really, we have all of the twos in here at the same time. So I'm going to say, whatever you're doing is very deep, and it is emotional, and it is going to prove successful for you. And I will leave it there. Thank you very much.